Hello friends, welcome to jwreasoning.com. Today is Sunday, June 4th, 2023. We will be considering the Watchtower article, "By this all will know that you are my disciples." I'm going to skip right to paragraph 8. Notice what this says. Just as Jesus foretold, many have recognized his true followers by the genuine love they show among themselves. For example, a brother named Ian recalls the first convention he attended, which was held at a sports stadium near his home. Ian had been to that stadium a few months earlier for a sporting event. He says, "The contrast with this convention was enormous. The witnesses were polite and well-dressed, and their children were well-behaved." He adds, "Above all, these people seemed to have a feeling of contentment and peace, something I yearned for." First of all, I want you to notice that he's contrasting a sporting event at this stadium to a religious convention. And he's saying the contrast was amazing. Well, shouldn't it be? Regardless of what religious group or what sports group was there, if you're going to a sporting event versus a religious event, I would expect a dramatic contrast. I think we all would expect a drastic difference between meeting for a game and coming together to worship. But notice further down in this paragraph. I don't remember any of the talks that were given that day, but the conduct of the witnesses made a lasting impression. This strikes me. You go to a religious event and you don't remember any of the talks that were given? You don't remember the material? You don't remember the topics, the subjects? I mean, come on. All you remember is the conduct of the people? I guess if you're comparing a sporting event to a religious event, you are going to notice a drastic difference. But to say, I don't remember any of the talks, but boy, the people were so nice, it made an impression on me. This just doesn't set well with me. It shocks me that they would put this in an article and use this to say, we have the truth. We have the truth because this guy couldn't even remember the truth that he was hearing from the platform. Instead, he observes how the people are. I realize that by our conduct, this may be the only sermon people ever see. But to go to a religious event and not take in the information, to me, I think this is very, very telling as to the material that they're putting in these Watchtower articles, the things that they're covering, that he couldn't remember the material that was covered. He couldn't remember any of the talks, but he remembers the people. Notice the next paragraph. A brother named John had a similar first impression when he started attending congregation meetings. I was impressed by the friendliness of everyone there. They seemed like saints. Their genuine love convinced me that I had found the true religion. Now, I have a number of problems with this statement. First of all, why the ellipsis? Again, they cut material if in fact this is reported correctly. I've talked about this in the past. A lot of these experiences are embellished quite a bit. But they put an ellipsis there, and then it says, they seemed like saints. Really? You know, think about it. Who are the saints according to the organization? It's only the anointed ones. And he's saying, these people seem like saints. Well, I got news for you, pal. If you were there and you were at that assembly, probably not one in the thousands that were there, maybe one, was what they would call a saint. You know, really think about this. I'm surprised they would even put this in there. In other words, what they're saying is, our brothers and sisters were acting like the anointed. And they put these people on a pedestal. Why would they put this in there? Lastly, it says, their genuine love convinced me that I had found the true religion. You've got to be kidding me. The love told you you had found the true religion. You know what convinces me that I have found truth? Is I have found Jesus Christ. You see, I'm just going to say this, but I personally, and maybe you're not, and that's quite all right if you're not, but I'm personally convinced that there is no true religion. That religious organizations, religions and churches, while they're doing their best, a lot of them, to worship God in the way that they feel is right, none of them are the truth. The truth is Jesus Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the life. It's not found in a church, a denomination, or an organization. But this man, by going to a meeting and being loved by the friends, and they, of course, gather around people, and they are friendly, they're kind. I love the brothers and sisters. They're very kind. But that should not convince you that you have the truth. It might convince you that there's a brotherhood there and that these people are trying to live a Christian life, but it doesn't convince me that anyone has the truth. If they have the truth, they should have Jesus Christ. He is the truth, not a church or a denomination. I know I beat that to death. In just about every video I do, I mention that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And I hope that that's starting to stick a little bit with you. Now, further down in this paragraph, or in this article rather, it speaks in paragraph 14 about the Jewish religious leaders and how they were self-righteous. But there's a footnote that goes along with this, and have a look at this footnote. It says, "It is reported that much later a rabbi said, 'The world possesses not less than 30 men as righteous as Abraham. If there are 30, my son and I are 2 of them. If 10, my son and I are 2 of them. If 5, my son and I are 2 of them. If 2, they are my son and I. If there is but 1, it is I.'" When I read this footnote paragraph, it just reminds me of the governing body. I can't read this without thinking of them. And this is the attitude that I see among them when I watch their videos and I see that they're sitting in their place in New York and they're causing all of these people to serve them the way that they do. So friends, these are just a few of the things that stood out to me in this article among the many, but these were the ones that I thought were worthy of highlighting for you. Remember that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through him. And my prayer for you is that you will continue to study your Bible and that Jehovah will continue to bless you until we meet again.